Many people want to start a poultry farm, but one of the biggest questions they ask is how to begin. Some people believe you need a lot of money before you can start. Others say that starting small is a waste of time because it will not be profitable. But in my experience, starting small and growing gradually is much better than waiting for years to collect enough capital to start big. Think about it carefully. Someone might say starting with only 50 chickens is too small and not worth the effort. But that same person might spend 3 or 4 years planning and waiting to raise enough money before starting. During that time, nothing is happening. No experience is gained, no customers are found, and no practical lessons are learned. In reality, waiting for a perfect moment can waste more time than starting with a small number of birds today. When you start small, you give yourself the chance to learn the practical side of poultry farming. What we hear in theory is often different from what actually happens on the farm. Problems appear that you never expected. Some management methods work well, while others do not. The only way to truly understand these things is through experience. Starting with a small flock allows you to experiment, make mistakes, and improve your management without risking a large amount of money. This learning stage is extremely valuable. When you eventually expand your farm, you will already know how to deal with many of the challenges. You will know how to manage feeding, how to detect diseases early, how to handle the market, and how to solve problems that appear in daily farm operations. A person who waits until they have a lot of capital but has no practical experience can easily make costly mistakes when starting with a large flock. Another thing people often forget is that when you start a poultry farm for the first time, a lot of the money goes into setting up the farm. You may need to build the poultry house, buy feeders and drinkers, prepare the land, and purchase other equipment. These costs are higher at the beginning. But once these things are already in place, the next batch of birds becomes easier and cheaper to manage. That means your second or third batch can become more profitable than the first one. Even if the first small flock does not bring a reasonable profit, good management can help you recover your costs while giving you valuable experience. That experience becomes the foundation that helps you grow into a larger and more serious poultry business. Instead of waiting for perfect conditions, it is often better to start small, learn quickly, and expand step by step. In this video, I will explain how someone can start a poultry farm with a small number of birds and gradually grow it into a much larger operation. We will first talk about local or backyard chickens and how they can multiply quickly with very little capital. After that, we will also look at other types of poultry farming such as broilers, layers, and dual-purpose chickens, and how each of them can be used to grow a poultry business over time. Let us begin with local or backyard chickens. This is one of the easiest ways for someone to enter poultry farming, especially if you have enough land, because it requires very little capital to start. One powerful method that can help increase the number of local chickens very fast is something called programmed hatching. This is a simple but effective strategy that allows you to coordinate the laying and incubation of eggs so that many hens hatch chicks around the same time. When this process is organized well, a small flock can expand much faster than many people expect. Programmed hatching works best when the hens are close in age and begin laying eggs around the same period. If the hens are of very different ages, it becomes difficult to coordinate their laying and brooding behavior. Because of this, the first step is to make sure that the hens you plan to use for the program are within a similar age group. There are several ways to achieve this. One option is to buy chicks or young pullets from a reliable source, making sure that the age difference between them is not more than 1 month. Another option is to select pullets from your own flock. If you already keep chickens, you can choose young hens that fall within the same age bracket and raise them specifically for this breeding program. And the third method is to wean brooding hens around the same time and raise their chicks yourself. In this system, hens are the most important birds because they are responsible for producing and incubating the eggs. Cocks can be introduced later when you are about to begin the breeding process. To prevent inbreeding, it is also important not to keep the same cock in the flock for more than about 6 months. Once the hens are ready, the next step is to synchronize their laying and incubation so that many of them begin brooding around the same time. This coordination is what makes programmed hatching such an effective method for rapidly increasing the number of local chickens. When the hens start laying eggs, proper management of the eggs and incubation becomes essential. Each hen should have her own nest, and the nests should be arranged so that hens cannot see each other's eggs. When a hen lays her first egg, remove it, boil it, mark it with a pencil, and place it back in the nest as a decoy. This teaches the hen to begin sitting on eggs without the risk of spoilage, since boiled eggs cannot go bad or burst. Every day, collect the eggs and mark the date on the broad side using a pencil. Store them in a cool and humid place, like a box in a cool part of the house, with the broad end facing up. Eggs should not be older than 12 days before incubation to ensure the highest hatch rate. Eventually, one hen will begin incubating, meaning she will sit on the decoy egg overnight. At this stage, do not give her any fertile eggs. Within a few days, other hens will also start incubating their decoy eggs. Once all hens are brooding, you can place 10 to 12 fertile eggs under each hen. It is not necessary for a hen to incubate the eggs she laid herself. The eggs can be distributed among the hens. Choose eggs that are medium-sized, healthy, and free from cracks to achieve the best hatching results. To time the hatch, remember that chicken eggs take about 21 days to hatch. If you want chicks to hatch on a Thursday, place the eggs under the hens 3 weeks earlier on Wednesday evening. The chickens will incubate them without worrying about how many eggs they have or how long they have been sitting, so the timing works reliably. After the chicks hatch, remove them in the dark before the hens leave the nest. This encourages the hens to return to laying quickly. You can then raise the chicks in a brooder for 3 to 4 weeks before letting them go free range. About a week after freeing the hens, reintroduce the cock so the hens can start laying again, allowing you to repeat the cycle. Even starting with just 5 hens, if each hatches 10 chicks, your flock can grow quickly. The original 5 hens can produce 3 to 4 times before reaching 1 year. By the time the first batch of chicks reaches 7 to 8 months, many of the female chicks will begin laying eggs. Assuming there are about 15 hens from this first batch, and each of these hens hatches another 10 chicks, the flock can expand rapidly. Within less than a year, it is realistic to reach around 250 to 300 chickens, depending on hatch rates, chick survival, and overall management. This method demonstrates how a small backyard flock can grow into a sizable number without requiring a large initial investment. Broilers are much simpler when it comes to starting small and expanding. One of their biggest advantages is their short production cycle. Within 6 to 7 weeks, the birds are ready for sale, which means you get your first return very quickly. This fast turnaround allows you to test the market and see how your management is performing without committing to a large flock at the beginning. Starting with a small number of broilers gives you flexibility. After selling your first batch, you can decide whether to increase the flock size depending on market demand and how smoothly the first cycle went. This approach reduces the risk of losses because you are not producing more birds than the market can absorb. If you start with too many broilers without knowing your market, you may end up in a situation where the birds stay on the farm longer than necessary. When this happens, they consume more feed, which is the largest cost in broiler production, and their extra weight may not bring higher prices. Selling at lower prices due to oversupply directly reduces your profit. By starting small, you avoid this problem and can gradually expand your farm with confidence, making sure you always have buyers for your birds. Layer chickens require more patience at the beginning. When you start with day-old chicks, you need to be prepared to raise them for about 5 months before they begin laying eggs. During this period, most of your spending goes toward feed, vaccines, and general management, and you will not be earning any income yet. It can feel like a long wait, but this is a normal part of layer farming. Once the hens start laying eggs, the situation changes. Layers produce eggs almost every day, giving you frequent and consistent income. This income allows you to cover ongoing farm expenses such as feed while still leaving some profit. The key is to carefully observe your management practices and the market during this period. When you notice that both are working well, you can begin reinvesting the profits back into the farm. For example, you can use the money to build another poultry house. Once that is ready, you can buy a new flock of layers. By the time your first batch is sold out or reaches the end of its productive cycle, the new flock is already in production. This method creates a continuous production system which helps your farm grow gradually and sustainably. Dual-purpose chickens, on the other hand, can be raised either for eggs or meat, but my personal experience shows that the most practical approach depends on the system you are using. If your goal is egg production, you can manage them like layers. However, when dual-purpose birds are raised in a deep litter system, they tend to eat more feed than specialized layers, and their egg production is usually lower. This makes egg production less profitable in a deep litter system. Egg production from dual-purpose birds works better if they are kept in a free-range or semi-free-range system where they can search for some of their own food. This reduces feed costs and makes laying eggs more worthwhile. From my perspective, the most viable option for dual-purpose birds in a deep litter system is to focus on meat production. In this system, the birds are raised for about 3 to 4 months and then sold for meat. Dual-purpose chickens are generally heavier than broilers at this age and are often preferred by customers who like traditional or local-looking chickens. Because of this preference, they usually sell at a higher price than broilers, making meat production quite profitable. So my recommendation is, if you want eggs, consider free-range or semi-free-range management. If you are raising them in a deep litter system, focus on meat production, sell them at 3 to 4 months, and use the profits to grow your farm gradually. This approach ensures that you make the most out of your investment while keeping management simple and practical. Remember, starting small is actually an advantage, not a limitation. When you start small, you gain experience, test the market, and gradually build a profitable operation. Every cycle gives you both money and knowledge, and that's the foundation for long-term growth. Focus on the birds that fit your goals and resources. Use programmed hatching to multiply local chickens quickly, raise broilers for fast returns, keep layers for steady egg income, and consider dual-purpose birds for meat or eggs depending on your system. Learn the strengths and limits of each type and combine them in a way that works best for your farm and market. If you've never heard of beginner toolkits for poultry farmers, check the link in the description. I've put together both free and paid toolkits to help you plan, track, and monitor your farm for maximum profitability. Finally, always reinvest your profits back into the farm. Build another poultry house, buy more birds, improve your equipment, and keep your management sharp. Now it's time to take action. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your farm grow. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and share for more poultry tips. Your success is our pleasure, and I wish you the very best on your poultry journey.